Our next Hall of Famer played at the University of Arkansas from 1975 to 1978. Defensive tackle Dan Hampton struck fear in opposing offenses, claiming first-team All-American honors in 1978 and leading the Razorbacks to 3 top 10 final national rankings. Arkansas Hall of Fame inductee Dan Hampton. Dan, some may not know that you fell out of a tree when you were 12, and doctors thought you would have problems even walking again. How did you overcome such physical adversity and be sitting on this stage today as both a college football Hall of Famer and an NFL Hall of Famer?
Well, and first of all, it's an honor to be here today. And when I was 12 years old, I had no idea, no conception of ever being in any Hall of Fame. Obviously, after you've been in the wheelchair for about 4 months, you're glad to walk again. But the good Lord obviously has an amazing healing, recovery powers. And it's interesting, I'm looking here at the back of the great Dewey Selman. And as a kid in Arkansas, Oklahoma football was like a big deal as well. And I remember the Selman brothers. Those are the reasons why I wanted to get into football. And, obviously it was a setback when I did fall, and I healed up. And the next thing you know, Arkansas was back on the national scene, and we actually got a game against you guys down in the Orange Bowl, Dewey.
I remember. Yeah. I remember.
Dan, you had a chance to play, like many of the gentlemen on the stage, with some legendary coaches, Frank Broyles, Lou Holtz. Distinctly different styles. How did they differ, and what does it mean to you to join them here in the College Football Hall of Fame?
Well, and you mentioned, Lou Holtz, Frank Broyles were the 2 great head coaches. But what about Jimmy Johnson, my coordinator, my first 2 years defensive line coach? And Monty Kiffin, the great Monty Kiffin we lost just this past year, was our defensive coordinator. And how wonderful that the coaches that we have here today going into the College Hall of Fame. All 4 of those obviously are so well deserving. But the one thing that I loved about the game of football, and that all of these coaches preached, and you ask every one of us, we will tell you, the game of football was based on meritocracy. You work hard, you do the right things, good things will happen, because you get out of it what you put in it. And those coaches are the reason why all of us players up here have a chance to stand here on the shoulders of all the great players that have went before us.
Ladies and gentlemen, Arkansas Hall of Famer Dan Hampton.